Hello student, good morning. Myself Sri K.D. Borsesar, biology subject teacher. In previous lecture we learned control and coordination chapter content concept, neurons or nerve cell. Neurons or nerve cells are structural functional unit of nervous system. We also learn neuroglial cells, means neurons and neuroglial cells are present in neural tissue. Both cells are different from one another. Today we are going to learn control and coordination chapter content concepts, synapse or synapse. What is synapse or synapse? We also learn different properties of nerve fiber. So let us start today's first concept, synapse or synapse. What is synapse? Interconnection between two neurons called as synapse, or junction between two neurons or nerve cells called as synapse. Junction between two neurons or nerve cells called as synapse. Synapse is a minute gap present in between two neurons, also called as synaptic cleft. Such synaptic cleft is present in between two neurons. Between two neurons allow transmission of impulse by a neurotransmitter bridge. Between two neurons allow transmission of impulse by neurotransmitter bridge. Seen here diagrammatic representation. This one is a neuron. This is also one of the neuron. In between them present a small gap called as synapse or synaptic cleft. So in between them form neurotransmitter bridge. Due to this, transmission of impulse from one neuron to another neuron. Seen here one more diagrammatic representation. One neuron terminal part called as axon terminal part, and other neuron dendrites terminal part. In between them present a small gap. This one is a small gap present in between two neurons called as synaptic cleft. So this synaptic cleft is a actual neurotransmitter bridge, and due to this neuron impulse transmission from one neuron to another neuron. Up to this we detail discuss what is actual synapse or synaptic cleft, or how form neurotransmitter bridge in between two neurons. We detail discuss what is synaptic transmission. What is synaptic transmission? The process in which impulse transfer from presynaptic neuron, the process in which impulse transfer from presynaptic neuron to postsynaptic neuron or cell called as synaptic transmission. Means impulse transfer होतो from presynaptic neuron. Presynaptic neurons means the neuron present before the synaptic location. This is the presynaptic neuron. What is postsynaptic neuron? Neuron present after synaptic location called as postsynaptic neuron. Seen here diagrammatic representation. This one is presynaptic neuron because it present before the synaptic location, and this one is post-synaptic neuron because it present after synaptic location. So the process in which impulse transfer from presynaptic neuron means this presynaptic neuron to post-synaptic neuron. This one is post-synaptic neuron or cell called as synaptic transmission, means impulse transmission from presynaptic neuron to post-synaptic neuron. Such process called as synaptic transmission. How synaptic transmission takes place? Seen here diagrammatic representation. You know presynaptic neuron. Here this part is presynaptic neuron and this part is post-synaptic neuron, no doubt. In between them a small gap called as synapse or synaptic clip present in between two neurons, and due to this synaptic clip is neurotransmitter bridge. Due to this impulse transmission from presynaptic neuron to post-synaptic neuron. We here seen how synaptic transmission takes place. You know this part is presynaptic neuron axon terminal part, means presynaptic neuron consists of cyton, axon, dendron and dendrites. Its axon terminal part is this one. Inside the axon terminal part of the presynaptic neuron contain number of sac-like vesicles are called as synaptic vesicles. These are the synaptic vesicles are present in axon terminal part of the presynaptic neuron. Inside the synaptic vesicles present neurotransmitter material. Inside the synaptic vesicle present neurotransmitter material may be acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin are the neurotransmitter material present in synaptic vesicles. Such synaptic vesicles are present in axon terminal part of the presynaptic neuron. At axon terminal part, here seen calcium channel. This one is neuron impulse transfer from cyton. You know neuron impulse transfer may be whole length of the neuron or not. This is one of the property. So nerve impulse transfer from cyton to axon at axon terminal part. At this location depolarization process takes place, means action potential process takes place, means ionic exchange process takes place. Due to this, such here located calcium channel is open, and due to this calcium ions are enter inside the axon terminal part. Inside the axon terminal part, calcium ions are increases and it fuse with synaptic vesicles. Here calcium ions are fused with synaptic vesicles. Due to this, synaptic vesicles are fused with one another. Such fused synaptic vesicles are fuse with a terminal axon part. This one is terminal axon part. You know, synaptic vesicles contain neurotransmitter material like acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin. Such synaptic vesicles is fused with terminal part of the axon and itself release neurotransmitter material inside the synaptic cleft. This one is neurotransmitter material release in the synaptic cleft, means synapse. This is the labeled neurotransmitter material present in synaptic cleft. Such neurotransmitter material present in synaptic cleft release from synaptic vesicles present in the axon terminal part of the presynaptic neuron. Due to this, the neurotransmitter material accept neurotransmitter receptors present on postsynaptic neuron. This one is postsynaptic neuron part. On the postsynaptic neuron, this green colored part are called as neurotransmitter receptor. So this neurotransmitter receptor receive neurotransmitter material, and due to this action potential generation, sodium ion influx inside and potassium ion expelled in the synaptic cleft. Due to this, channel open present in neurotransmitter receptor and impulse transfer from synaptic cleft into the postsynaptic neuron, means impulse is present at axon terminal part, is transfer from axon terminal part to synaptic cleft to postsynaptic neuron. Transmission of impulse from presynaptic neuron axon terminal part to postsynaptic neuron dendrite through synaptic cleft. This process called as synaptic transmission. Hope that you understood everything, how synaptic transmission takes place. Now we learn different properties of nerve fibers. Properties of nerve fiber consist of 9 different properties in our syllabus. Number 1, excitability or irritability is one of the property of nerve fiber. Second, conductivity. Third, stimulus. Fourth, summation effect. Fifth, all or none law. Number 6, refractory period. Number 7, synaptic delay. Number 8, synaptic fatigue. And number 9, velocity. Here noted total 9 different properties of nerve fibers. We learn one by one different properties of nerve fiber. Number 1 first, excitability or irritability. Excitability or irritability. The nerve fiber possesses polarized membrane. When nerve fiber receives stimulus, such nerve fiber enter to state activity because it becomes excitation. You know, each and every nerve fiber possesses polarized membrane. At outer surface positive ions and inner surface negative ions. Due to this, nerve fiber is not receive stimulus. When the stimulus is attached to nerve fiber, the action potential process takes place in the nerve fiber. Due to this, nerve fiber becomes excitation and itself enter into state activity. What do you mean by polarized membrane? Nerve not carry any impulse because neuron is a rest condition. Up to this we detail discuss excitability or irritability is one of the property present in nerve fiber. Nerve fiber possesses polarized membrane. Such polarized membrane, nerve is not carry any impulse, means neuron is in rest condition. When stimulus is attached to nerve, such nerve becomes excite and enter into state activity. प्रत्येक नर्व फायबरला पोलराइज्ड मेम्ब्रेन असतो. जोपर्यंत स्टिम्युलस रिसीव करत नाही तोपर्यंत तो मेम्ब्रेन असलेला पर्टिक्युलर नर्व हा not carry impulse because polarized membrane have outer positive ions and inner negative ions. Due to this, the nerve is not carry any impulse, so nerve becomes a resting condition. When nerve receives stimulus, at that time action potential process takes place in the nerve fiber, and due to this the nerve becomes excitation and enter into state activity. Now we learn second property of nerve fiber called as conductivity. What is conductivity? It is ability to transmit the excitation. Such property called as conductivity. You know, nerve receive stimulus. Due to this excitation itself and conduct impulse in the whole length of the nerve fiber from one location to another location. Such ability called as conductivity. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Impulse transfer from one location means cyton to axon, whole axon part, and such axon part at terminal portion connect synapse to another neuron, means impulse conduction ability is seen in nerve fiber, and this is the property of nerve fiber. Now we learn third property of nerve fiber known as stimulus. What is stimulus? Any detectable physical, chemical, electrical change in the external or internal environment. Due to external or internal environment, any detectable physical, chemical, electrical change which bring about excitation. Which bring about excitation means त्या स्टिम्युलसने काय होतं तर एक्साइटेशन होतं इन अ नर्व. कोण एक्साइट होतो? नर्व एक्साइट होतो, मसल्स एक्साइट होतो, ऑर्गन एक्साइट होतो, ऑर्गॅनिझम एक्साइट होतो. कॉल्ड देम स्टिम्युलस. सच स्टिम्युलस may be physical, maybe chemical, maybe electrical, but it bring about excitation. So this is called as stimulus. There are three different types of stimulus. Threshold stimulus. What is threshold stimulus? Stimulus with minimum intensity to cause excitation. एक्साइटेशन होण्यासाठी जी लागणारी इंटेन्सिटी कमीत कमी ज्याच्याने एक्साइट होईल न्यूरॉन नर्व, such minimum intensity provides stimulus called as threshold stimulus. No doubt this minimum intensity is cause excitation process. So such minimum intensity provides stimulus called as threshold stimulus. Second one is subliminal stimulus or weak stimulus. What is subliminal stimulus or weak stimulus? Such stimulus means subliminal stimulus or weak stimulus is not provide minimum intensity to cause excitation process, means not going to excite the neurons, will have no effect. So such stimulus called as subliminal stimulus, because this stimulus is weak stimulus, not provide minimum intensity to cause the excitation of nerve. So this is different between threshold stimulus and subliminal stimulus. Now supraliminal stimulus or strong stimulus. What is supraliminal stimulus or strong stimulus? The stimulus has same effect as threshold stimulus, same excitation as threshold stimulus, because such stimulus provide maximum intensity to nerve fiber, and due to this the excitation causing is same as to threshold stimulus. Means strong stimulus provide maximum intensity to nerve fiber, due to maximum excitation process takes place. Like this not takes place, only same threshold stimulus like excitation cause the nerve fiber. Means threshold stimulus मध्ये minimum intensity power स्टिम्युलस प्रोव्हाइड करतो नर्ववर, अँड ड्यू टू दिस एक्साइटेशन होतो नर्व. सुप्रामिनल स्टिम्युलस, जेव्हा स्ट्रॉंग स्टिम्युलस मॅक्सिमम इंटेन्सिटी प्रोव्हाइड करतो टू नर्व, at that time causing effect is same as to threshold stimulus. आपल्याला वाटतं की स्ट्रॉंग इंटेन्सिटी प्रोव्हाइड केली स्टिम्युलसने, मीन्स एक्साइटेशन स्ट्रॉंग होईल असं होऊ शकत नाही. एक्साइटेशन तेवढंच होईल जेवढं थ्रेशोल्ड स्टिम्युलसने केलं आहे. सो सेम इफेक्ट as threshold stimulus, same excitation due to supraliminal stimulus or strong stimulus. This is the difference between threshold stimulus, subliminal stimulus and supraliminal stimulus. No doubt the threshold stimulus cause excitation. Supraliminal stimulus is also cause excitation, but subliminal stimulus not cause excitation. Hope that you understood everything. What is stimulus? How stimulus is one of the property of nerve fiber. Now we learn fourth property of nerve fiber called as summation effect. What is summation effect? A single subliminal weak stimulus will have no effect, A single subliminal weak stimulus is not provide minimum intensity to nerve fiber, so will have no effect, means not excite the nerve fiber. But many such weak stimuli are given in quick succession. They may produce effect, that is excitation, because due to addition or summation of stimuli. Due to summation of stimuli means weak stimuli, they may produce effect, that is excitation. But a single subliminal or weak stimulus will have no effect, means not provide minimum intensity to the nerve. But all weak stimuli or many weak stimuli are given in quick succession. They may produce effect, that is excitation. एकच वीक स्टिम्युलस एक्साइटेशन करू शकत नाही नर्व फायबरला, पण एकापेक्षा जास्त वीक स्टिम्युलाई are given in quick succession. They may produce effect, that is excitation. का होऊ शकते? Due to addition or summation of stimuli. Hope that you understood everything. What is actual summation effect? And summation effect is one of the property of nerve fiber. Now we learn property number 5. All or none law is one of the property of nerve fiber. Nerve either conduct impulse along the entire length, or not conduct the impulse because of subliminal or weak stimulus. Weak stimulus or subliminal stimulus not provide minimum intensity to nerve, means not conduct impulse. Due to subliminal or weak stimulus, the nerve is not conduct impulse, but the stimulus becomes strong or supraminal or maybe threshold. Nerve conduct impulse along the entire length. जेव्हा nerve minimum intensity accept करतो from stimulus, at that time nerve conduct impulse along the entire length. मग त्या नर्वची लांबी किती मोठी असेल तरी एकदा डेंड्राइटने ऍक्सेप्ट केलेला इम्पल्स हा डेंड्रॉन, सायटॉन टू ॲक्झॉन थ्रू कंटिन्युअस होल लेंथ कंप्लीट होतो. परंतु जर का वीक स्टिम्युलस असेल किंवा सबलिमिनल स्टिम्युलस असेल तर इम्पल्स कंडक्शन तो कधीही करू शकत नाही. This is the one of the property of nerve fiber, called them all or none law. Nerve either conduct impulse along the entire length or not conduct the impulse because subliminal or weak stimulus. Up to this we detail discuss total 5 different properties of nerve fiber. What is refractory period? It is the time interval about millisecond during which nerve fail to respond to second stimulus, however strong it is. Means स्टिम्युलस जरी स्ट्रॉंग असला तरी एका स्टिम्युलस रिसिविंग आणि दुसऱ्या स्टिम्युलस रिसिविंग मध्ये एक छोटासा इंटरवल असतो अबाउट मिलीसेकंडचा आणि त्या इंटरवलला म्हणू शकतो आपण रिफ्रॅक्टरी पिरियड. इट इज द टाइम इंटरवल अबाउट मिलीसेकंड ड्यूरिंग विच nerve fail to respond to second stimulus, however strong it is. Also seen here, it is a time of interval about few millisecond. हा जो टाइम इंटरवल असतो रिफ्रॅक्टरी पिरियडचा हा फ्यू मिलीसेकंड असतो फक्त between two stimulus. This time interval is between two stimulus during which nerve fail to respond to the next stimulus. Such time interval called as refractory period. So refractory period is also one of the property of nerve fiber. Now we learn property number 7. Synaptic delay. What is synaptic delay? The impulse require about 0.3 to 0.5 millisecond to cross the synapse. Synapse cross करण्यासाठी जो वेळ गरजेचा आहे तो किती असेल तर 0.3 to 0.5 millisecond. During this time impulse cross a synapse. This time is required for release of neurotransmitter from axon terminal part of one neuron, means presynaptic neuron, and excitation in the dendron of next neuron. Seen here also simply how synaptic delay, the time required for transfer neurotransmitter from axon terminal presynaptic neuron to dendron on postsynaptic neuron. Such time required to transport neurotransmitter called as synaptic delay. What is normal synaptic delay time? 0.3 to 0.5 millisecond. Now we learn property number 8. Synaptic fatigue. What is synaptic fatigue? The transmission of nerve impulse across the synapse. Transmission of nerve impulse across the synapse halt temporarily due to exhaustion of its neurotransmitter. And this is called as synaptic fatigue. Seen here very simply, what is synaptic fatigue? Temporary halt in transmission of nerve impulse transmission मध्ये temporary halt होतो between the synapse due to exhaustion of its neurotransmitter, and this is called as synaptic fatigue. Now we learn number 9 property of nerve fiber. the rate of transmission of impulse is higher in long and thick nerves, means short nerve or thin nerve, rate of transmission impulse is very less. In higher, means rate of transmission is higher in homeotherms than the poikilotherms. You know, homeotherms means warm-blooded animals group. Poikilotherm means cold-blooded animal group. In warm-blooded animal groups, body temperature is constant. Due to this, rate of transmission of impulse is higher than the poikilotherms, because in poikilotherm not temperature is constant. The rate velocity transmission in higher voluntary fiber is about 100 to 120 millisecond in man, as opposed to autonomic or involuntary nerve only 10 to 20 milliseconds. So this is the difference between velocity transmission in higher involuntary fibers and autonomic or involuntary nerves. Similarity, it is faster in medullary nerve, as impulse has to jump from one node to another node of Ranvier, means in medullary nerve fiber, rate of impulse transmission is more higher than the non-medullary nerve, because medullary nerve fiber present on nodes of Ranvier. Such nodes of Ranvier, impulse has jumped from one node of Ranvier to next node of Ranvier. Due to this, rate of transmission of impulse is very high. At the synapse, where the neurons communication with one another, means one neuron carrying impulse to synapse is presynaptic neuron, while the neuron receiving input at synapse is postsynaptic neuron. Simply, the impulse carry one neuron known as presynaptic neuron to synapse or synaptic cleft. Another neuron receive impulse from synapse is postsynaptic neuron. Or generate region, maybe gland or muscles. The synaptic cleft or small intercellular space lies in between two cells having width is about 20 to 30 nanometer between them, means synaptic cleft is about 20 to 30 nanometer between them. Next, point number 8, the process in which the impulse transfer from presynaptic neuron to postsynaptic neuron or cell, called as synaptic transmission. The process in which impulse transfer from presynaptic neuron कडून impulse ट्रान्सफर होतो कुठे, तर पोस्ट सिनॅप्टिक न्यूरॉन कडे किंवा सेल कडे. Such synaptic transmission is most important in between two neurons, because in this way impulse transmission from one neuron to another neuron, and this is called as synaptic transmission. This is one-way process carried out by neurotransmitter, means presynaptic neuron content impulse transfer from itself to post-synaptic neuron. This is the one-way process, and this one-way process is carried out by neurotransmitter present in synaptic cleft. Up to this we detail discussed total 9 different properties of nerve fiber. Hope that you understood everything. Review today's topic. We learn in today's topic synapse. What is synapse? Also we learn different properties of nerve fibers like excitability or irritability, second conductivity, number third stimulus, number fourth summation effect, fifth all or none law, refractory period, synaptic delay, synaptic fatigue, and velocity. On the basis of today's lecture, some exercise questions noted here. Number 1, MCQ question number 1. Which part of the neuron receive information from other neuron? Cyton, dendron, cell body, axon. Yes, the correct answer is dendron. Receive information from other neuron, means B, dendron is correct option. Second MCQ question, dash dash send signal away from the neuron, whereas dash dash receive signal from other. Axon, dendrite, synapse, dendrites, axon, cyton, dendrites, axon. Yes, the correct answer is A, axon, dendrites. Axon send signal away from neuron, whereas dendrite receive signal from other. So correct option is A, axon, dendrite. Number third, information forward from the neuron through which part? Axon, soma, dendrite, nucleus. Yes, the correct answer is axon. A, axon. Stimulus with minimum intensity to cause excitation, threshold stimulus, subliminal stimulus or weak stimulus, supraliminal stimulus or strong stimulus, all of this. Yes, the correct answer, threshold stimulus provide minimum intensity to cause excitation. Short answer question. Number 1, what is synapse? Yes, a gap between two neurons called as synapse. What is synaptic delay? Yes, a time required for transmit neurotransmitter from axon terminal part of presynaptic neuron to dendron part of the postsynaptic neuron. Such time called as synaptic delay. What is normal time of synaptic delay? Yes, 0.3 to 0.5 millisecond. In which part of neuron initially synaptic vesicles are located? Yes, axon terminal part of the presynaptic neuron contain vesicles are located. What is synaptic transmission, impulse transmission from presynaptic neuron axon terminal part to postsynaptic neuron dendrite terminal part. Such impulse transmission takes place through synapse or synaptic cleft called as synaptic transmission. Neurotransmitter filled in sacs-like structure known as synaptic vesicles. Which stimulus is not conduct the impulse? Yes, threshold stimulus is provide minimum intensity to conduct stimulus, but subminal stimulus is not provide to minimum intensity to nerve, so the nerve is not excited, nerve is not conduct impulse, means subliminal or weak stimulus is not conduct the impulse. Select the correct option related to following question. Select number of correct options related to following question. The question is, the rate transmission of impulse is higher in long nerve, thin nerve, non-medullary nerve, homeotherm, short nerve, thick nerve, poikilotherm, medullary nerve or medullated nerve. Here noted total 8 options. The rate of transmission of impulse is higher in, yes, long nerve is a option. Also homeotherm is also one of the option. Also thick nerve is one of the option. Also medullary nerve, means long nerve, homeotherm, thick nerve, medullary nerve is the option for the rate of transmission of impulse is higher. Identify the diagram. Yes, this diagram is synaptic transmission in between presynaptic neuron and postsynaptic neuron. In between them, synaptic cleft is seen. So labeled A, B, C, D. Here A means, yes, this one is presynaptic neuron, A. B, synaptic vesicles, C, synaptic cleft, and D, neurotransmitter. Now match the column A with column B. In column A, subliminal stimulus. Second, supraliminal stimulus. Here excite the neuron, non-excite the neuron. Subliminal stimulus not excite the neuron means one match with B. Supraliminal stimulus excite the stimulus means two match with A. Up to this, today's lecture completed. Hope that you understood everything. If you like the video, then you can subscribe my YouTube bioinfo channel. Tap the bell icon and like the video. If any doubt about today's lecture, mention in comment box. Thank you.